Winning Shot family. What's going on, man? We appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode. We back again. I got John, me, Hundo. We got Collin. Fellas, let's chop it up. We got a lot of content to get into. A lot of stuff is happening around multiple sports, NFL, WNBA, NBA. Let's chop it up, fellas. Let's start here. First of all, tell me how y'all doing. I hope all is well. And then we're going to get right into some content. There's some really big news we need to talk about.
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. Working, freelancing. Everything's going good, man. The Lord is moving.
Amen.
Amen. I'm good as well, bro. Finally settled into this house, doing yard work this weekend, but everything's good, man. Had an exciting week of college football, so excited to see what this week brings.
I'm glad to hear it, fellas. I'm glad to hear it.
Rick got them leaves up.
Don't let me crash out today, Hundo.
Hey, yo.
Shout out to Nick. Looking at the yard right now. See leaves continuously flowing into my yard. We're going to have a little talk, though. I had a little chit-chat with him yesterday, so we're going to get that situated.
It sounds good.
Hey, he'll grab a bag of leaves and just dump them.
For your doorstep. Ding dong.
Leave him on the doorstep.
Word.
Hey, he put them in an Amazon box. Oh, that is diabolical.
I'm telling you.
So you thought you ordered a package?
Nah, for real.
Here goes some leaves.
That's work indeed, bro. I'm telling you. Man, I'm glad to hear y'all boys are doing well. I can't complain either, man. Another day, another week. Of course, football is contributing to my overall mood, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. Got more pressing needs and issues to discuss right now. The WNBA, man, as you know, Hundo, we got to come back and do this pod on the finals. But the end of the season is near, or here, not even near, it's here for the Minnesota Lynx. And so a part of their ending pressers, Miss Napheesa Collier, MVP from the Unrivaled League, not of the WNBA, because she didn't win that. She didn't win that award. That went to Miss Wilson, MVP Wilson. We'll talk about her a little bit later on too. She today, man, shocking and breaking news. Well, not really shocking. Breaking news for sure. I thought it was AI. In her ending press conference today, she discussed a conversation, and there was a full 4.5 minute clip. If you want to go get the full context a little bit later on, we may put that in here. But one piece of it was this: she had a conversation with Cathy. Cathy is the commissioner of the WNBA. In that conversation, I'm paraphrasing, so do not quote me directly. There were some parts in that conversation that went like this. Phee was looking to discuss some of the new CBA agreements and things like that. And it started off her, talking about player safety, player conduct, things like that, fouls that had been getting called. Cathy's response was, losers always want to talk about the refs. Crazy comment from the commissioner. But then there was more. She went on to talk about, some of the new faces of the league and, kind of player development and as well as also just moving the game along and more higher initiative and their brand growing. The commissioner responded back and talked about specifically Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers. She mentioned that these young women should be happy to be in the WNBA or else their brands would not be where they are. Once again, another crazy statement from the commissioner. The last crazy statement that was uttered out of the commissioner's mouth ranged around the fact that WNBA players, people should be on their knees. That's the direct part from the quote. On their knees and happy that the WNBA is allowing them to be the athletes and the parental powerhouse that they are trying to be in this space. Her words, not mine. Fellas, and y'all seen the clips. And so give me your thoughts as you watch that and heard what was said in the conversation between Phee, who is one of the faces of the WNBA at this current time, and the commissioner of the WNBA, Cathy.
Yeah, my initial thoughts were along the lines of yours, John. Like you said, I thought it was AI.
Nah,
I didn't
facts.
I didn't think it was real, bro. I'm like, no
Can't
way
be.
Cathy said that, bro.
No way.
There's no way she said that. And according to Phee, she said it. And that's just crazy to think, in my opinion. She said Caitlin should be grateful she makes 16 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. That's crazy. Like
Okay,
that's
so
crazy to think, anyways, because like, bro, she already had a brand before she even got to the W. Like her
correct.
following was crazy.
Yeah,
And then she
so
gets to the W and makes a crazy rookie year, coming back in year two. Like she's definitely up there for face of the league.
mhm. Yeah, my thing is like, why, even if she is making 60 million, why say it? That feels like some hate attached to that because Caitlyn, I'd imagine, was making more in NIL than she was making in her first year salary as part of the W. And it just feels like this is the hurt coming out from Kathy. I don't know if it's necessarily because of the success that Unrivaled had in the summer versus how there's been a lot of issues with the scheduling and poor ratings with the W, and I imagine that Caitlyn with the groin injury kind of hurt a lot of the ratings going into the postseason. But I have to go look at the totality of what he said, but it just seemed like Caitlyn's name was coming out of nowhere. I'm like, why even say those names? Why not direct this towards Phee specifically? And if she had an issue, why is she trying to bring people down when the whole point of the W, even from people outside the W, was to lift the W up in this moment?
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's important. Like you said, they're trying to grow the league, and it seems like it's a whole bunch of chaos going on that's hurting the league. It's just like, bro, like I
Yeah,
thought we were supposed to be moving to better and greater and bigger things. They got expansion coming, but it's just like they can never figure things out. And it just
so
seems
let me
like,
ask you.
one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah, so let me ask y'all this, because y'all the W experts. I was wondering when I watched the clip that you sent John in the text message, like, do you think that in terms of how it's received by just the sports world altogether, like it would have been more effective if it came from like a Caitlyn or a Asia? That's the first question. And then second, like the fact that she didn't win the MVP and they got bounced out the playoffs, like was any of this because of something beyond just the W in terms of her beef with Cathy, or just the hurt from not winning the MVP and not, make it to the finals?
Nah, me personally, I don't think it's any kind of hurt. I think it comes from just player safety. I think she really spoke to what all the players in the CBA kind of they've been trying to get at all year,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
I think she used the perfect time to do it because now her season's over. So now I can air all my grievances, right? It's like you get to the end of the course and I can go back on teacher correct and like, hey, this teacher sucked. So like, I feel like it's that same kind of mindset in the sense of like, bro, I hate my boss. And I had a conversation that further let me know I really hate you, and now I can let the world know. Because also in that same breath, Phee has created her own platform now that, as I
Yeah.
mentioned in our text earlier, is rivaling. And I think some people maybe didn't not agree with it, but I think it's the truth. In 1 year, has rivaled the WNBA.
Yeah.
It's been in existence for a plethora of years, and so
Hmm.
it's like I have my own brand, so I'm not really pressed, but I also want to fight and advocate for my sisters who are in the W. You know what I'm saying? Like, to speak to your point, Collin, she did Phee brought up, Caitlyn and Angel and Paige as the new upcoming faces of the league and talking about the notoriety that they brought with them from college, which has, as we all know, has grown the game tremendously. Me and Hunter have talked about it plenty of times before, how those three names all them by themselves have brought a crazy notoriety to the W. And so for Cathy to talk about, well, she wouldn't be nothing without the W, it's like that's an insane statement to say. And it's really like the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like you should really be thanking her, right? And not just Caitlyn, but Angel and Paige, who she also mentioned. And so it's like it's as if, and Doc mentioned this in the chat earlier, Jalen, he talked about the fact that, the owners may have had the same sentiments because as an owner, you feel like you have the most power and the most say so. In all actuality, when it comes to the WNBA, that's not always the case. Like, I honestly don't even know who the owners of the majority of these teams in W are. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you should be thankful that these young women, Paige, Angel in Chicago, Paige in Dallas, and Caitlin in Indiana, like 3 places that, like, don't necessarily always need the notoriety, but these young women are bringing crazy notoriety to these places, these teams, more specifically Indiana, because Dallas and Chicago didn't do well this season. But more specifically, Indiana could be a potential team that's in the WNBA finals in tonight if they beat the Aces, right? And so it's like, for you to say, yeah, well, they should be thanking the W, it's like, you need to get your high horse. Honestly, it's really it was crazy. Like Kendall said, when I first heard it, I was like, "There's no way." Like the commissioner, like in my mind, I'm just thinking like Roger Goodell getting caught saying something crazy to like Lamar or Patrick. Like, yeah, you guys should be thankful I'm here. Like, what? Like, your job is literally dependent on the players. Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is really a wild space to be in. And then the response came later on with the apology and almost making it seem as if Phee had like misconstrued the conversation. Yeah, like she lied like about the whole thing. And I was like, you can tell it's really just like trying to save face, right? And it's just like it to me, it's just really, really crazy. And I'm really interested to see how this plays out. I think somebody got to lose their job because if not, it's going to be a very, very bad repercussions for the W.
Yeah.
Now I know you mentioned, talking about it at the end of the season once the season is over, but do you think it would have changed anything if it would have came out at the beginning of the season or before the season started?
I think it would have been more of a push to get her fired early in the season. That's what I think. Because I mean, you got to think they already wearing their shirts like "pay us what we worth." Like they're being very vocal about what they wanted in the CBA agreement. I believe this conversation came out at the right time because it's at the time, like, yes, like Todd mentioned earlier in the chat, they had a couple more weeks to get this figured out with CBA, but also they can already go back to start doing unrivaled stuff too. So this gives them honestly a big boost and jump too, because it's like, hey, we about to get some viewership up, we about to get those kind of things up as well, but also we about to put y'all in the hot seat because this is how your leader, the person y'all have voted to be the leader of this thing, speaks to their faces of the league, and Phee is considered one of the faces of the WNBA. So it's like, excuse me, if this is how you talking to me about players in your league and things that are happening in your league, I got my own league. So let me invite some of these young women over, show them a good time, pay them some bread that they will say pretty much the same bread that they get paid in the W anyway. I might take over. And that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying this whole time. They're gonna mess around and the rival's gonna take over.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's damning though is like all of this is coming out, and I'm pretty sure either the Fever or Aces can clinch tonight. Like nobody's talking about the game tonight. And like with all this going on, like I was telling Hundo earlier, like you're touching the cash cow with Caitlin, like in terms of viewership. Because like, what if Caitlin goes to Unrivaled now? Like I would much prefer Unrivaled over the W any day. Like, and you just don't come for your players, like you said, John, the commodities like that, because they're what drive your team. I feel like the difference though is I'm not sure how it works in the WNBA, but like in the NFL, you can't just fire Roger Goodell. The owners have to get together and vote for Roger Goodell to get out. So I'm curious to know what the owners feel about this, if they share the same sentiment as Phee or the same sentiment as Cathy. Because if they agree with Cathy, they're not going to get rid of her.
No.
And I'm just curious to know in terms of where the brand is going, like what the response is going to be and when is the response going to happen. Because you got to think about next season too. And
yeah.
And like I said, that timing is crucial because, like y'all said, the CBA negotiations is set to end at the end of October. So they literally have like a month left to figure something out. Or, as somebody like Dejanay mentioned before, potentially having a lockout.
Yeah.
So we gonna see. Hopefully they can take care of the players, man. But it's really a bad look on Cathy and the front office of the WNBA right now, man. Like you gotta take care of your players. got to protect the product.
Let me ask you this, Hundo, because I personally have believed that Cathy is going to be fired based upon this conversation. Do you think that this conversation can cause her firing? And I know Collin mentioned, you have to, have a collective agreement, a collective vote that, she should be fired. What else do you think needs to be done? Because I think the players have stood up in response to Phee and saying, yeah, we pretty much feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been talking about the officiating being bad. We've been talking about players not being appreciated. And so to hear their commissioner now say these things to a player, and once again, it's not just like any player. Like Phee is up there, like I said, as one of the top players in the W. So to like say this to the face of your league, one of the faces of your league, right, is absolutely ludicrous. I think that someone's job needs to be taken, bro. Or like we said, it's not even gonna be a CBA conversation. Why do I want to play for any league that allows their person to talk to me like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think something has to happen. And if not, it's going to be a lot of people saying, I'm just not going to play in the W next year. And even though they're under contract, I mean, that's, like they said, if we do a lockout, we can go litigation, whatever y'all want to do. But I don't have to do that. I don't have to subjugate myself to this when I'm already not happy in my role. So,
yeah. And Collin and I were talking about that before we hopped on here about, like, the timing of it. And that's kind of what I was saying, too. Like, had she come out and said this at the beginning of the season, one, Phee probably could have sat out, but other players probably would have followed suit and potentially sat out during this W season with the CBA stuff looming anyways. So as far as action being taken from this conversation, I think it's going to be very hard to come to the table and negotiate a CBA, a fair deal for the players. They want a bigger share of the revenue. So that's probably going to be tough. They already said it felt like a slap in the face earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough. But as far as getting Cathy out of there, like Collin said, that's going to be tough. You got to get the owners on board. We've seen the WNBA as a league where the players come out and make a stance on voting rights, various issues throughout the course of the history of the league.
Yeah.
The players have a voice. So when it comes to this issue of Cathy, we're going to see. But
and my thing is, if she's talking this crazy now, this ain't the first thing she's done. I want to know what else she's done to other players.
What else you saying? I gotta hear the leak tapes because I know they going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said that the Phee and Phee is the face, one of the faces. I can't imagine what she done said to the stud buds or said to somebody else on the bench.
Nah, for real.
You better be glad you're on a roster,
bro. And really took me out. I was watching a video today when she's like, partying with like the All-Stars in the All-Star break. I was like, you fake. You are so fake. Talking about them like this. And you party with them at the same time. Come on now, Cathy. And my thing is, bro, also, to see the success that Unrivaled has had, I'd be doing everything in my power to try to team up with them and make us a more, once again, not competitive, but more profitable league, right? I think another thing that's kind of plagued them is that they're probably still in the red, but they've seen a giant increase in revenue over the past 2 seasons, with Caitlin and Paige and Angel coming into the league. But prior to that, I mean, clearly they were not as profitable as they should have been, which I think led to the revenue kind of being what it was in the previous CBA. I think the reason that the players are fighting so hard now is they know that the revenue has increased since those women have come to the league just on their own. Yes, Age has won multiple MVPs. Yes, all this stuff is growing, but because of all the other things that has happened, the players know for a fact. That's why they fight so hard for the CBA that the league is more profitable now, which is why they're trying to get that increase in CBA. Increase in their revenue share, right? But I think on the W's part, it would be smart to partner with someone who's showing you in a year what they can do. When the majority of your players were going overseas at the end of the season, now they can stay in and do something. So it's like, why would you not partner with that to make them some more money, which makes you more money in the long run as well? So instead of doing that, now you done put a sour taste in the owner of that league's mouth. The co-owner with Stewie, but an owner nonetheless. So now you done roped yourself. Because if I'm Phee, I ain't working with you. Not when I done made as much money as you in a year, and I can prove it to you with my track record. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna work together. That's cool. You got your opinion, and that's fine. I'll stay in my unrivaled league, continue to have your players come over here and pay them probably more than you can. and get better sponsorships than you can. Like, it was very stupid. Very, very stupid. And like I said from jump, Phee has no reason to get up on that stage and lie about you.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah,
Like,
that is
none
fact.
at all. I ain't got no reason to come here and lie to you. Like, I cannot like you and just say I don't like you and keep pushing. Like, she had receipts and what she specifically said to her. Like, yeah, nah, yeah, you're, in my personal opinion, she's cooked, man. She gotta go. She gotta go because, like I said, you're gonna cause that. You're gonna cause a lockout. You're gonna cause players like, yeah, I'm just not gonna play in the W no more. I'm not gonna play in the W no more.
Especially if they can make more money, if not the same amount of money, in an Unrivaled.
Exactly.
They're getting a piece of revenue share over there, ownership share over there.
Exactly. She got girls in college already talking about revenue share.
Yeah. And in Fee's statement, she talked about how, she probably wouldn't have felt this way if she didn't have the experience that she had, with Unrivaled. So that's somebody who knows what they're talking about, calculated, strategic. Very powerful statement right there that she made today.
That's coming from somebody who know what that money looking like. That's what that's coming from. She was not pressed at all.
Yeah, and you attacked your Trojan horse with Caitlyn, because I feel like the one thing the W had was Caitlyn. And like I said, if Caitlyn decides to go to Unrivaled, your leverage is gone now, because everybody's gonna be tuning in to Unrivaled in the summer.
Yeah.
Got a TV deal. Just added 2 more teams to Unrivaled. They up right now.
Bro, they up right now, bro. Like, it'll be nothing for them to just take 3-3, make that the second half of their part if they choose to keep that going, and just put 5-on-5 and make those same teams a 5-on-5 teams. It'll be nothing for them to add that. Like, yeah, the W really can't afford to like have this situation looming for them because once again, like Collin just mentioned, when you have your biggest cash cows like Caitlyn, Paige, Angel, who Paige and Angel are already going to Unrivaled. So it's like you let Caitlyn and let's say Asia go to Unrivaled, man, the W's cooked. It's over. Like, it ain't gonna be no W.
And like you said, John, they got college players coming too. So like you got your pipeline.
Exactly. I'm about to have my own Unrivaled
What's
draft.
TBA?
Right. We don't need y'all. Don't worry about it. We got it. And then you over there looking stupid. Now owners trying to figure out, well, what can I do to get something? And you know what you gotta do? Fire Cathy. So I'm gonna fire Cathy train until she get fired. Cathy, if you listen right now, your job is done. You're cooked. Sayonara.
Yeah, but I think also too though, like it matters who you replace her with too, because
that's also very true.
You have to have somebody in mind that is player centric, that is looking to grow the league, because you get a Cathy 2.0, you're in the same problem for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And the W's already expanding, so we gonna see, man.
That's another thing, Hundo.
Coming in, the expansion fees coming in.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
we gonna
think
see,
about
man.
that part. They just talked about all these expansion teams they adding in, and this your leader? Nah, bruh. They ain't gonna let this stand. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Something will happen. I can make y'all a guarantee. Something's gonna happen.
Hey,
so question though, I was reading the article and they were talking about like Lexi Hole, I think Angel Reese, and all of them were like backing Fee's comments, right? So like, do you foresee this affecting the rest of the postseason? Because I know like one of them is on the Indiana Fever, right? And like with the finals coming up, what you were saying, Hunter, about them sitting out, I don't foresee them like sitting out the finals, but do you see the same stance that they were taking in the All-Star game with pay the players, like that fire Cathy mantra? Do you see that circulating into the NBA finals, WNBA finals?
Yeah, I can definitely see them putting together an initiative to wear like a shirt or something. we can definitely see something like that happening, where both teams come out, wearing a shirt that says something. They probably won't say fire Cathy or something like that, but like I could see that happening. Like you said, I don't think anybody's gonna sit out. We know that Satu doesn't like Cathy. We've heard her speak several times about Cathy. She's not too favorable of her, and they're in the finals, so I'm sure they'll have something to say in their interviews coming up. But other than that, I don't think it'll go too far. They're gonna play and finish out the season.
What a time it shall be. what a time it shall be, fellas. Like I said, it's when money's involved, things happen. So we know how to get change in this country. Affect them pockets. And I promise you, comments like that will affect them pockets. So change shall be coming soon, fellas. I promise.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, speaking of change too, man. Dallas just fired their coach.
I just seen that.
Their coach.
He's gone.
The yoga man is gone, as they say. Everybody's been calling for his job all season. He's gone. Yeah, they'll be having their third coach in 3 years in Dallas. Good luck.
Yeah. Poor Paige.
What'd you say, Collin?
Is Enrique coming back for Dallas?
She's a free agent this year.
She's a free agent.
Hey, and that's the thing too. It's a whole bunch of free agents.
A bunch of free agents.
It's a whole bunch. Like a lot of these teams about to look very different next year. It's a lot of free agents.
I mean, like some dogs on that free agency list. So like, yeah, that money gotta be right. And like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This today's speech. Watch what I tell you. I seen a tweet. It was like this speech could literally change the trajectory of the WNBA.
Yeah, and
it's the truth. It's the truth. Like how this is handled can literally make or break the league. And I think the people know this. I think Cathy knows this. It was why she put out that statement so quick about how she was just disheartened. You gotta say face. I get it, but like, come on now. We know what this is. We know what this is. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone because I got to see some more. Y'all tune in tonight. It's Game 5 of the WNBA semifinals with the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces, winner to the WNBA finals to face the not Minnesota at all. Phoenix Mercury. We've been talking about Phee. She got me riled up about Minnesota. My bad. She's at home. That's why she was able to make that statement. They'll be facing the Phoenix Mercury. Shout out AT. Shout out Satu Sabli. Yeah, Hundo. Yeah, Hundo. I told you from the beginning of the season, Satu Ohu and brought her team to the finals. Yeah.
AT brought them to the finals.
Yeah. Man, Hundo is the biggest Satu hater I know. Don't give her no credit. None.
Hey, thank you. Hey, she had a good year. Thank you for staying healthy.
See? You see what I'm saying? Here you go. They got a goalpost. Y'all hear that wind? That's the goalpost moving on Hundo Clark. Oh my goodness, bro.
Hey,
don't make no sense.
Hey, shout out to Phoenix, man. Shout out to Phoenix. They did their thing.
You see how I talk about Satu?
I say she stayed healthy. She had a good season.
What you got to say about AT?
Season and
hold on, what you got to say about what you got to say about AT then?
She carried the team. She had a good season. She stayed healthy. What you mean?
They're gonna go,
bruh. They call her the engine, bro. You know what that means?
Hey, Hundo. Hold on, Hundo.
They call her the engine.
Hey, Pod. Listen to. Let's go to goalpost now. Hundo. Did AT or did AT not play the same amount of games as Satu this season?
She did. They played the same amount of games.
Hold on. When AT and Kai were out, who was leading that team to wins, Hundo? Who was there leading that team to win?
She only played like 5 games by herself at the beginning of the season.
What about when
Satu was out? Who was leading the team? When Satu and Kai was out, who was leading the team? I can make the same case. They played the same amount of games.
Hold on. When AT was doing it, she also had Kai. Satu was doing it.
No, Kai wasn't playing, bro. Kai wasn't playing. And if she was out there getting cardio. She had a terrible season this year.
Satu was doing it by herself, Hundo. While both of them women was injured.
Okay.
And so was AT.
And so was AT.
I just want you to acknowledge that she did what she needed to do to get this team to the finals.
Hey, she stayed healthy. She did a great job.
God. Okay.
She did a great job. She stayed healthy. She did a great job.
Y'all
did a great job.
And y'all see it.
She did a great job.
I I appreciate what you did in Phoenix this year. You came to a brand new team and you helped bring them to a finals.
So did AT. That's all I'm saying. You just skipping over AT part.
I'm not skipping over AT.
AT did the exact same thing, bro.
I can give AT credit without hating on her. You cannot give Satu credit without hating on her at the same time.
Bro,
you can't do it.
All she did was stay healthy. That was my only gripe with her. What did I tell you at the beginning of the season? She probably gonna get hurt. Is she gonna be able to do it all season? She proved me wrong. She did it all season. She proved me wrong.
So who's y'all's final prediction tonight? Like who y'all got winning?
The Aces better win at the house. I'm gonna say that right now.
Man, I'm with John. The Aces better win, bro.
They better win at the crib, bro.
They need to find an answer for Leah Boston. Send a double team. Stop fouling. Stop crying about the fouls.
Mm-hmm.
If the refs gonna call fouls, make them blow the whistle on the other end.
Yeah.
Be physical, just like Indiana being physical. Leave it all on the court.
So I saw that New York let go of their coach a couple of days ago, right? So if the Aces happen to lose this game, is Becky safe still?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I think that she probably will be. I think that based upon the way this season started, boy, the Aces was looking bad. I didn't think they was gonna make it. I ain't gonna hold you. There's plenty of weeks. I was like, especially the Aces, I was like, bro. I mean, they were just losing in the worst way. I'm sorry for yelling tonight, but they were really losing in the worst way possible. I was so hot to be an Aces fan this year, early in the season, bro. I was like, there's no way they're this bad. Like, it was some games absolutely egregious, Collin. I was sitting there watching in disbelief, utter disbelief. I'm like, there's no way Asia, the MVP of the league for 3 times, out here, and they're looking like this. I mean, team just getting cardio. I mean, girls 1 for 12. It's bad. It's real bad. Thank God that they were able to now get to the point that they're at tonight with being 4 quarters from getting back to the WNBA finals. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had no faith at the beginning of the season that they'll be right here now. So to see it now, you got to finish it out. You got to. Yeah. In comparison to an Indiana team who has also fought very hard because their star player, Caitlin Clark, played 9 games this season. So to the fact that they're also here, 1 game away, 4 quarters away from going to the WNBA finals, is also a miracle. So it's a we gotta hoop. Who wants it more? That's what it is.
Yeah. To answer your question, Collin, I'm not sure. Like I said earlier, this 2026 free agency class is about to be crazy. And like I said, a lot of teams gonna look different. So if the Aces do lose tonight, Becky might be gone. Because returning, who you gonna have? Asia, Jackie, hope to bring back Chelsea. But other than that, like, it's up in the air. So it's gonna be interesting to see what direction they choose to move in after this season. If they do fall short, especially if they lose tonight, I think if they get to the finals, she comes back, even if they lose. But if they lose tonight, you definitely have to have a conversation because, like John said, it wasn't looking good before they went on their run in August. And they went on that winning streak. They were what, 8th in the standings?
Bro, yes, it's bad.
About almost outside of the playoffs. And to finish 2nd in the standings, that's great.
Not for real.
So there's a case either way for Becky to either be let go or to come back. So we're gonna see. Hopefully they win it. Like I said, man, they got to leave it all on the court tonight, man. Bring the physicality, defend AB. If they can slow down AB, they're gonna be fine.
Whew. What a time. What a time. We'll get to it again soon as in regards to the WNBA. But let's quickly pivot Shout out to the pivot. Let's quickly switch over because we're not gonna steal that. We're gonna quickly switch over and switch over to the NFL. We got some conversations to discuss there. We're gonna definitely get back over to that W content here soon because I know we got once this game ends, we're definitely gonna talk and preview that NBA Finals for sure. WNBA Finals, excuse me, for sure. But let's get to the NFL because there's a lot of news happening in the NFL. My goodness, what a season we are having!
Injury.
A lot of injuries. I mean, the injury bug has hit teams like a truck. I mean, the list is long, fellas. I can go down the list, and I'm going to name just some notable names that I know of, right? The Cardinals lost their running back, James Conner. He's gone. We look at the Chargers. They lost both of their tackles. They lost Joe Alt, and they lost Ryan Slater. Gone. Slater's out for the year. Joe Alt's out for at least the next, probably, I think it said 4 to 6 weeks. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, gone till December. Their season's effectively cooked. I mean, last night we just saw the Dolphins lost. Tyreek Hill, gone. Rest of the season. The Ravens, my goodness, lost Nande Medebike, gone for the rest of the season, neck injury. We lost Roquan Smith, gone for at least 2 or 3 weeks, hamstring. Lost Nate Wiggins. Now, I'm speaking of Ravens. I know the Ravens like the back of my hand. Nate Wiggins, he probably out. Marlowe, he out for at least 2 or 3 weeks. Lamar got hurt in the game. Lamar Jackson, he may be out for maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
CD.
Yeah, we got more. Broderick Washington, he's out. John Alexander, he ain't played since the first game. I mean, the list goes on and on, but that's just for Baltimore. Like I said, the NFL in itself, there is a plethora of injuries. CeeDee Lamb is hurt down in Dallas.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, the list is gone. It's almost endless, fellas. Like, there's a plethora of good players around the league that are out right now. And it's
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa tore ACL. I mean, I haven't even checked the status of like Christian McCaffrey. Is he still active right now? I don't know if he's playing right now.
He's at Brock's hurt.
Brock has been hurt. Malik Neighbors just tore ACL. I mean, guys are literally dropping like flies. Literally. This is insane. Insane. Like last year in comparison, I felt it was a relatively healthy season. In comparison to what I'm seeing right now, I feel like every day I'm hearing like another notable player has been lost for the season. I'm like, oh my gosh, teams are depleted. Like everybody's like the Detroit Lions from last year, depleted, just down bad. And so, man, it has opened up the door to a lot of losing for a lot of teams. It's also allowed for a lot of winning for a lot of teams as well that would usually probably lose in some games, right? When you look at the standings right now, I don't have them on the top of my head, but I can pull them up here in a second. When you look at some of these standings and some of these divisions, right? And we got some healthy teams that are also just super sorry. So we got to talk about this too. There's some healthy teams that are just sorry and just still losing games. Well, I'm going to talk about them a little bit later on. I'm speaking on right now the teams who were supposed to be contenders this year that are now, sorry. I look at the Ravens. We 1-3. We were supposed to be contenders this year, and we still have an opportunity to do so. But with all these injuries I just named on that list, boy, we got some conversations to have. Like I said, with the why do you keep calling me? When I look at the excuse me, look at the Bengals. I mean, unfortunately, Joe Burrow was the only hope. So now that he's out for the pretty much till December, which will be the rest of the season, essentially, they're done. Like we mentioned, we look at. Go ahead.
One aside from that Joe Burrow injury, I saw that they possibly could try to go get Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins type quarterback. Maybe one of them could fill in and do something because Jake Browning looked bad. Hey, Jake Browning looked bad last night, boy. He looked bad, bro.
This is the needle, Hundo. This is the needle if they go get Jameis. This is the needle if they go get. Who else you mentioned?
Kirk Cousins.
They need to go backwards.
Hey man, don't do Kirk like that.
Hey,
Kirk do something, man.
Hey, you said who? Russell Wilson?
Lost the needle.
In the negative.
The needle's not moving in a positive direction for any of those names that you named just now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Rush just lost his job to a rookie. So I mean, the needle's not moving, bro.
Yeah, see that move only works under if he was out like 2 to 3 games. But if he out the season, you're expecting them to do what? Even if they get Kirk Cousins, they're not going to the Super Bowl.
They
What are
not
we
even
doing
going
here?
to the division.
Yeah. Compete. They didn't compete last night. They did not compete last night.
No. Now let's be real. They would barely compete when Joe Burrow was healthy at the beginning of the season. Let's be honest about it.
I gotta go look. I don't know.
You pull it up, Joe.
Last night was terrible. I tell you that.
I mean, yeah, since Joe got hurt, they ain't been competing though. They sucked last week when they played.
But hold on. Because I don't want to gloss over that, like the Ravens talk. Let's go back to that Ravens.
I know you don't. I didn't want to gloss over that. But before we get to that Ravens talk, because I know you, so you could probably spend the next hour talking about the Ravens because of your hate. So give me a second before you get there. Because I want to be a man. I want to be a man and say this: the Colts have won some games this year, ladies and gentlemen, with Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback. Now, he did lose his first game this past Sunday to the Rams. And I think there's more L's to come. But I'm going to leave that for another time. And I'm going to say that young man has outperformed what I thought he was going to do this year. To me, personally. Personally. Do I think that the Colts are a good team? No. Do they have a better record than my Ravens? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. God bless America. But do I think they're a better team than us? Nah. So yes, shout out to the Colts. Shout out to what y'all doing right now. And I still believe that Collin still believes in my heart of hearts that Daniel Jones is not the long-term answer. I think he's a good player right now, but I believe that Collin right here will tell y'all in a moment. And he may not on the camera, but I promise you tell me off the camera that Daniel Jones is not the long-term answer. And he definitely don't like they are.
Let's have this conversation. So, like I told y'all before, I said that all the signs, me and you, John, we talked about this on the pod. I said all the signs point to Daniel Jones having a good year this year because with JT healthy, our roster, it just fits Daniel Jones a little bit more than the Giants ever did. Because you can see the numbers pre and post Saquon. If he has no help, I can't trust Daniel Jones to get us over the hump. I'm not expecting Daniel Jones to carry us to the Super Bowl this year. But what I will say with him overproducing this year and the conversation we all had in the group chat about this college quarterback class coming out, we were in the group that was expecting him to be a bridge quarterback to our future. But now that this talent pool is not as great, I think he's definitely a 2 to 3 year option. And hopefully he can turn into a Baker at least. So hopefully, like low end, he can be a durable starter. But the high end, we're expecting him to turn his career around like Baker. That's it.
Okay. I feel like Baker's a high ceiling. Because, I mean, honestly, bro, Baker done turned his career all the way around to where, I'm like, wow, Baker's actually a viable quarterback in the NFL. Oh, my gosh. Like, he's actually super reliable right now.
But that's the thing, bro. Post Carolina, we were like Baker can go with the enterprise. We were let's be honest. We were done with Baker. He goes to LA and comes back and he gets a job that I believe is a top tier job with Bowles. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and I'm not comparing our rosters to the Bucs, but what I'm saying is in the perfect situation, Baker was exceeding expectations with everybody in the league. So we just hoping that Daniel Jones stays at this high level for the next 2 to 3 years while we find a long-term answer.
Okay. I'm not mad at it, bro. Like I said, Daniel has definitely outplayed my expectations for what he was going to do this year. I did not expect him to come in and lead y'all to a 3-0 record. Like, that just wasn't in the bingo cards for me. You could have told me that. I'd be like, yeah, right. But you also could have told me that the Ravens would start 1-3, and I'd be like, yeah, right. Same thing. So, I mean, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, life comes at you fast. It really does. And so, I don't want to get into this Ravens talk. And I ain't got my mic today, y'all, so I'm not really aware of how loud I'm speaking. So I'm gonna calm down my tone, but I do want to speak on the Ravens. I may get loud again when I talk about the Ravens, but I'm gonna start this talk, and then I'm gonna let y'all boys chime in, and from there we can kind of discuss whatever.
Hey, you want the solo shot?
I don't really need a solo shot. It's not really a monologue. Hey, if it gets to that point, you can switch it over.
Okay.
The Ravens are 1-3. They're 1-3.
Give him the solo shot, Hundo. Give him the solo shot.
Why not?
The Ravens are 1-3, and a lot has been going on in Baltimore. Right? There's been a lot of speculation over coaching, a lot of speculation over players, a lot of speculation over what's the cause of our demise at this current juncture in time. Well, I'm gonna give it to y'all straight, ladies and gentlemen. We're 1-3 for a plethora of reasons. Let's go back to the first game against the Bills. We're 25. We're 40-25 in the fourth quarter, mind you. Fourth quarter, we're up 40-25. In no way, shape, or form did I expect us to lose that game. None at all. The defense became, as they have described after the fact, complacent. Now, I think that sometimes speaks to a culture that has been established. And it's unfortunate because I'm an advocate of I'm never going to stop scoring. I don't believe in mercy rule in any level of sports. I don't have any kind of sorrow for my opponent. There's no sportsmanship. We can keep all that to after the game. When the game is over, I'll shake your hand. But in between quarter 1 and quarter 4, if I can put up 100 points on you, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to stop scoring. I may pull starters. I may, change up play calling, but I'm never going to attempt to stop scoring. That's not going to happen. And I think what happened in that first game in a true Ravens fashion, as it has happened plenty of times before, we just got too soft with the lead. And that allowed the other team, in that particular instance, the Buffalo Bills, to gain some confidence when they were able to drive up and down the field on us, right? Now, they didn't lose that faith. They were trying to continue to play. Now, sometimes you play teams and they give up when the lead is too big, just like the Ravens just did this past Sunday. We'll get to that in a minute, too. That the Bills did not give up in that first game when they were down 25-40. We said we've scored enough. No. You keep scoring. You keep doing what has gotten you to the end zone time and time again. Now, we saw it in week 2 whenever we played the Browns. But at that point, we already lost the game. You got to have that mentality from Jump Street at the end of training camp. You need to go into every mentality game and say, we're going to score as many points as possible because why not? I mean, in college, they score 60 and 70 on little schools all the time. No mercy rule. So when you have grown men, and I don't want to take too much of y'all time tonight, but you have grown men who get paid millions and millions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, we should not be letting up. And once again, I'm not saying that you can't pull Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying you couldn't pull Derrick Henry, but we're not going to try to stop scoring. We're not. We're going to run it up on every team that tries to, because you stepped on this field with us. So because you think you're as good as me, because you stepped on this field, I'm going to show you that you're not. But if you don't have that kind of culture, this leads to what has happened, which led to a comeback loss, 40-41. Like I said, they pulled back together and decided to, go on a run against the Browns. And that put us at 1-1 of that beat that we gave to them. Then we came back home to the Detroit Lions, who are a team that in years past we had dominated. And last couple of years that we played the Lions, we beat them handily. Now this time was different. I ain't gonna lie. Usually the Ravens beat themselves, but the Detroit Lions are the first team I've seen in a long time actually beat the Ravens like they stole something and came into your house and did it too. Like, we didn't go to Detroit and this happened. They came to Baltimore and this happened. Detroit, gave them was all they could handle. Honestly, defense was absolutely pitiful and pathetic. Defense was just getting run up and down the field. It was bad, really, really bad. We couldn't stop anything. Also in the pass game, I mean, Jared Goff didn't, kill us with his arm, But the wide Amon-Ra St. Brown, giving one of my top corners, Marlowe, some work. And so that led to another L. We still put up 30 points from that offense, but still led to another L. This past week against the Chiefs, started off hot. Lamar came out, led down a touchdown drive. Things went downhill from there. We started getting people started getting injured. We already had some guys injured coming into that game. Defensive line wise, we already couldn't stop the run, and they didn't even run the ball that much on us. But Patrick definitely did his thing for sure. I'm looking at the box score right now. He threw 4 touchdowns on us, 270 yards, and rushing wise, like I said, their top rusher only had 38 yards. So that was a passing fest, and once again that led to another blowout with injuries and all this stuff like that. So that leads to us being 1-3 with a plethora of injuries. Now let me say this: as I talk about the Ravens being 1-3, I leave with some hope, and the hope is that we have a bye week in 2 weeks, and our schedule is quite favorable after the bye. We should have players come back healthy after the bye. And I pray that people come back with a renewed sense of we want to win, because the conference is still winnable. The division is still winnable. We haven't even played even a quarter of our division games yet. We only played one division game, and we play the rest of them after the bye. The Bengals are already down bad, as I mentioned earlier. The Browns are still the Browns. And our only competition seems that it is time be the Pittsburgh Steelers, who always give us some trouble anyway. Now, what needs to happen? How can we fix this, John, as a Ravens fan? This is my plea, and this is my observation, looking on the outside, looking in. We have to go into every game with a mentality of we got to be great. I mean, we just can't allow the things that have plagued us over and over again these past couple of games to continue to do so. These matchups, once again, are favorable in the sense we play the Texans on Sunday at home. Without Lamar, that game becomes tough, obviously. But we just paid Derrick Henry a lot of money to run that football. And guess what he's good at doing? Running that football. So what we should do? Run that football. None of our receivers are injured. Zay, I need you to still work. Likely's back. Get active. I mean, everybody that's there needs to stay active. Offensive line, make some changes immediately, because I think that's been another issue, is that Lamar's just been sacked a plethora of times in all of these games. And so everybody's getting home and not really protecting him. Now, he had some good protection on Sunday decently, but there were times where there were certain players. I look at you, Daniel Fahalele, number 77. I just haven't been impressed with your game this year. There's been some plays I just like, you're too big. You're 6'8", 6'9", shouldn't be getting beat the way that you are. Ronnie Stanley has been getting beat sometimes like a dog. He's one of our best offensive players on the line. And so there's just some guys who just haven't really stepped up to the plate, stepped up to the challenge of this season. And so for us to, and defense, we know the defense, we just got a lot to talk about there. Corners. Yeah, I'm going to say there. D-line, my goodness, are we grown men or not? And then linebackers. I mean, outside of the Browns game, we've been quiet everywhere. Outside of, no position has wowed me. Outside of Kyle Hamilton. And even he has had to, been looking kind of sloppy because he's been trying to keep up with everybody else. So I said all that to say, 1-3, playoffs are still attainable. Division title can still be attainable. We just got to lock in. We got to. And there's no other excuses, nothing else to do. But look back on what you've done, and the product that y'all are, once again, y'all are saying this is not good product that y'all putting on the field. It has to be better. And I know the injuries are here, but y'all got 2 weeks to the bye. Y'all got to win. Without Lamar next week, we're not beating the Rams. I can be honest and say that. We can beat the Texans without Lamar, but y'all got to show that y'all want it. So that's it, fellas. Y'all can come on back on here now, and I'm done with the monologue. I'm gonna let y'all speak.
Yeah, man, you made some good points. I think, in all honesty, I feel like it comes down to the defense. Like you talked about, the Lamar going down is going to be big in the next few weeks. So who's y'all backup again?
Cooper Rush,
who has some experience, not a terrible backup.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see. That should be a good game versus Texans, like you said. Rams probably a L, and then y'all have the bye week before y'all play the Bears and then the Dolphins.
Yep,
2 favorable matchups moving forward. So I mean, it's not too bad for y'all. Depending on when players start to come back for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all should be fine. I think, like you said, playoffs still attainable for y'all, but we gonna see, man.
I've heard this story before. It's okay. I think we got to be honest. Like I hear the cute soliloquy you had, John, but I think the honest truth is y'all's offense is sputtering. I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing altogether. Like when we see Derrick Henry, like with the fumbles, like that's one aspect of it. But Lamar did not play a good game Sunday, and we can admit that. I don't know if the Chiefs are in his head. I don't know if this was just a bad game, but I think moving forward, when I look at a team like the Lions last year, them having all of those injuries and still being able to dominate offensively, I'm not seeing that same thing with the Ravens. And yeah, I think y'all can get by until Lamar gets back fully healthy. But we know that's not the standard. The standard is Super Bowls based on your prediction this season. It was this all season, win the Super Bowl. So I'm holding y'all to that standard. And when I'm looking at all these Super Bowl contenders, I'm like, based on what I've seen thus far, can they keep up with those teams? And the answer is no right now. And we just got to be honest. I think y'all can get there. Like I like pieces of your roster, but if y'all don't get them this year, we have to have an honest conversation, like I said before, about John Harbaugh. And until you're ready to have that conversation, we can have that conversation. Well, I can wait, but at the end of the day, I don't want to blame injuries because we've seen teams that were injured last year make it to divisional championships. And I mean, even the teams that go to the Super Bowl, everybody's injured. Y'all may be depleted.
Now,
but
come on now.
they can't bro.
Come
They can't
on now.
be.
You about to get on your hundo. You about to get on your hundo.
It can't be this whole excuse.
You about to be on your hundo. Here you go.
I think the type of injuries matter too, and like who the players are that get injured matters too.
Word,
like, if Lamar's gonna be out, bruh, we cannot hold them to the standard of getting to the Super Bowl.
Hundo. I'm not saying just Lamar. I'm saying even when Lamar gets back, I said they can probably make it with the schedule until Lamar gets back. But even then, we can't use defensive injuries as the excuse now. Because if we're saying Lamar is one of the greatest quarterbacks,
they got about 4 or 5 starters that's out on that defense right now. That's being generous.
If we're saying Lamar is as great as we saying he is, he should be able to take them deep into the playoffs, regardless of.
He hasn't been able to do that, so we can't expect that now, especially with injuries.
Why not? We're ready to praise him.
Who's done it, Collin? Who took the team to the Super Bowl with all them injuries? You talk about injuries. You talk about injuries, but name me somebody who had key injuries to key players on the defense and the offense that was able to take the team to the Super Bowl. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Even with the healthy quarterback. Go ahead.
Because the Lions didn't do it last year, and you talked me they had key injuries on defense.
I said
you talk about the Lions. No, you said Super Bowl. You said Super Bowl is the standard.
Your standard. That was your prediction. You didn't say barring injury.
Nigga, yes, that's my prediction. With the healthy team, of course, nigga. What are we saying?
Because it's like all the stars always have to align every year for the Ravens in order for us to have healthy criticism.
Nigga,
hold on.
What are you talking about?
Can we not agree that like the bar can change though? If injuries happen, the bar can change. John is. I haven't heard John say yet today that barring injuries, if people are out, that the Ravens can still get to the Super Bowl. Now, if he said that, cool. But I haven't heard him say that yet.
I didn't say that. Like I said, did I come into the season saying that the Ravens should get a Super Bowl? Yes. But as you look, nigga, I ain't got no crystal ball. I can't. If niggas get injured, that's like you saying the Chiefs should still make the Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes. That's essentially what you're saying.
No, you're not hearing me. What I'm saying is, they said based on the takes on Twitter and sports and whatever that Lamar will be out 2 to 3 weeks, right, with the hamstring.
Yeah.
Correct. So what I'm saying is, based on the schedule that Hundo just pointed out, y'all should be able to get past those games even with Cooper Rush. You can at least split. Correct.
Yes.
So I'm saying when Lamar gets back, y'all can still make a run to the playoffs. And I assume that some of those players on defense that you have out may be coming back within that time that Lamar is back.
Correct.
So the standard still stands with getting to the Super Bowl. I don't want a fully healthy roster anymore because that's just impossible for any team in the league. But when Lamar gets back, that standard's still gonna be the same. I'm not changing that.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all.
That's fine.
If he had an ACL, okay, now we can have a different conversation. But a hamstring, he'll be back soon. Hopefully.
Nah, bro. Nah, we can't just gloss over that, bro. Hamstring injury is not nothing to play with, bro. And you know that. Come on now.
But a hamstring has never cost away the whole season, Hundo. Stop it.
Bro, but we know if you take a wrong movement, bro, you're re-aggravating that hamstring, bro.
Okay, but in
everybody
3 to 4 weeks,
that.
he should be healthy.
Bro, Lamar likes to move, bro.
By the say,
if
Lamar
he moves wrong, bro,
quarterback,
he gonna re-aggravate that hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad. I'm holding him to a higher standard. My bad. Okay. Hopefully they can make the playoffs since that's the standard. I guess. All right. It's like, how couldn't you don't hold the Colts to that standard?
Huh? Your whole attitude changed about Daniel Jones.
It did. Absolutely. I did not expect this coming into
so why John can't do the same?
Because we do this every year, Hundo. We do this every single year.
You can't pick and choose that, bro.
It's like
I'm usually with you on this topic, Collin. I'm usually with you, but I'm not with you on this one.
But what I'm saying is, I hope we can agree with this. Before Lamar pulled that hamstring, he was having a terrible game versus the Chiefs.
He was.
Okay.
Bro, I got him in fantasy. I know.
So what I'm saying is, we have to look at that mutually exclusive from the injuries. He was having a bad performance as a quarterback, standalone. So what I'm saying is when he comes back, I hope that he comes like 100% healthy, so we don't have to have this conversation. But when he comes back later in the season, I'm still holding Lamar to that same standard because I trust that he can lead the team, even if they have a couple guys back, that he can still lead them deep in the playoffs because he's Lamar Jackson. That's what we all say.
I hear you, but also like let's not act like he's been having a bad season, bro.
I'm about to say
it was a bad game. Everybody can have a bad game, right or wrong.
And I literally led by saying that. I was like, this could be a bad Sunday. It could be the Chiefs in the head. I don't know. But we're going to see later on in the season when he gets back. And we'll have a healthy amount of data to make some solid inferences about the Baltimore Ravens. My stance, and hold on, John. My stance on the Ravens has never been Lamar Jackson is bad. I have always, since I've known John, I've always kept the onus on John Harbaugh. I said, we got to let go of John Harbaugh because he's not getting it done. They try to change OCs, change head coaches. I think Lamar is good. Do I think he's just as good as Josh Allen? Yes. Do I think he's better? We can have that conversation later. But what I'm saying is because I hold them to that high standard, when they're healthy, I expect them to produce. I don't care what the roster looks like. And I'm assuming that some of those defensive players that are out are going to be back. So it's still Super Bowl or bust if they come back. And I feel like that's fair.
I'm with you 110%, brother. I think that's the standard. But I think that as everybody loves to put, that standard is on Lamar Jackson. Is you put the onus on John, but the world will put it on Lamar. No matter how bad that defense has been playing this year, and God knows I know how bad that defense has been playing this year. And Lamar has been cooking. Before this terrible game he had against the Chiefs, he had led the league in touchdown passes. He was up, like he was playing MVP level every week. He put up crazy numbers every week. He had just thrown 3 or 4 touchdowns the game prior to. So it's like, yes, Lamar can be, and as we have mentioned before, because I remember y'all mentioned this last year, when Josh Allen loses to the Chiefs, it's never his fault because of what? You feel like his defense has been blah, blah. And it's never because, Josh has been playing terrible. Josh can have the game of his life. But
talk about it, John.
Then it's like, I don't know. So
Collin bogus. Collin bogus.
You bogus too.
Nah.
Hold on.
Hey, brother.
I told you.
Hey, brother, I'm with John on this conversation.
I told you your Honda was coming out because when it comes to it, you always tell me this. When it 1-7 would never, 1-7 would do this. Okay, if Lamar does this, and it gets to that point. He has a good game. Are you going to say? That's all I want to know. Are you going to
I
say?
have to
Are you going
for
to say,
consistency.
you know what, Lamar? He did his thing. Defense gave up. John gave up. Whatever the case was, I just want to know if that's going to be the case. Because right now, that's not what you're saying
John,
right now.
Hey, John, because he on Lamar head about having
Bro,
his bad game before
on
the
his
injury.
head.
He on his head, boy.
And that's what I'm saying. You hold him to a standard that you don't hold Josh to.
Yes, I do, bro. Stop it, John. Yes, I do. Actually,
I
if we're talking about the facts, hold on. If we're talking about the facts, I have talked about John Harbaugh and what he has produced with the Ravens more than I have with Sean McDermott and the Bills. I've held Josh to that standard. But what I'm saying is, I'll hold Lamar to that standard as well. I think Lamar can get it done. And if Lamar takes them deep in the playoffs, especially if they're depleted roster, I'll give him his flowers. But what I'm saying is, just because you're injured, that's not going to change my stance on you nor the Ravens. Because really, I'm looking at this from John Harbaugh's perspective. I'm ready to see a coaching regime change. But I know y'all not going to do that. So the next thing to do is like, okay, Lamar, they're holding you to the standard. You said you're going to get Baltimore Super Bowl. Now's the time to do it. No excuses. This is why you're getting paid $50 million. This is it. This is it. Go do it.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I just want to hear the consistency from all angles. That's all that I'm saying. Because I feel like, once again, and this isn't just the you thing, and I'm also going to bring up this point here in a minute, but I feel like when we get to this conversation,
Hey, hold on, John. You see how this nigga Hundo turned so quickly?
Listen. I'm just saying, bro. We cannot hold them to the standard of getting to the Super Bowl if it's injuries, bro. Regardless of how good Lamar is, bro. I don't agree with that, bro. I feel like the bar can change, bro.
Collin don't agree with it either. He only agrees when it's Lamar. If it's Josh, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why I think that, and I know not even think I know this, because if it's Josh does with nobody. Josh don't need a team. Josh do it all by himself. It's like, okay, now if I bring up injuries, if I bring up this and that, it's like, well, he did have a depleted roster. He didn't have any help. Like his receivers. What receivers did he have? I mean, defensively, you can't name any players, and it's like,
I'm literally making my point. When I talked about Josh being the MVP, he had nobody on his roster, which is why I say he's the most valuable player. If Lamar goes and does what Josh did last year with this roster right here, I will be on the top of the hill saying Lamar should win MVP because he is the most valuable player this season. My cadence doesn't change. You just have to produce, and then my cadence will change.
Okay. So less. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna hold it there.
I don't think he win the MVP at this moment.
But if Lamar leads this team to the playoffs,
I mean, I don't think playoffs is the bar, though, bro.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when the voters will vote on the regular season, and a part of them voting for Josh.
They got to be a top team in the AFC. I don't think they're gonna be that. If he misses 4 to 5 games, let's say he missed 4 to 5 games, depending on what their roster look like, not their roster, their record looks like, they're already 1-3. If they lose 2 or 3 more games, that's being generous. If they lose 2 or 3 more games, that's already 5 losses. That's not good enough to win MVP, in my opinion. We're gonna see what other teams do, but
yeah, I was about to say we got to see what Pat does.
5-6 losses. I don't know if that's winning MVP, bro. And then, I said, they already got.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think what I imagine Lamar doing, if they turn around and they just go on a tear and say they go 10-7, 11-6, I definitely think he'll get MVP votes. Of course, because he missed games, it'll have to be somebody at the top. It might have to be close because you still have Pat. I'm pretty sure Baker might get votes. Don't know who else will be up there. But I'm just saying, even an MVP caliber season, when he gets back, you're still gonna be held to that high standard. Like I was saying it for Josh mainly because of what they didn't have. And if they're injured this year, the Ravens I'm talking about, I would have to say the same thing about Lamar. And I think Lamar can do that. I'm not saying he has to win MVP, but definitely the same praises I gave Josh, I definitely give Lamar if he's able to do it. But this is what you're paid for. This is why you're the franchise quarterback, because of moments like this. Injuries gonna happen everywhere. And granted, I hope some of them players get back, but like we got to be honest about the offense. The offense wasn't looking good Sunday, and we can be honest. I think the champion, like Chiefs, are somewhere in that championship caliber. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender just yet. But you think about the Super Bowl contenders, the Eagles. I don't think their offense looks any better. So we just got to be honest about what you have currently, and not all of that is on injuries, and that's why I have an issue. Can't blame everything on injuries because it's the same story every year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they definitely got to figure something out with that running game for sure. But I feel like outside of that last game, Lamar had been playing good throughout the season.
Absolutely.
So we gonna see. We gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, what are some of your surprises this season? Like going into what, week 4, week 5? Like outside of
I mean, I just go to the AFC West division. I mean, the Chargers, they've been looking pretty good. They just lost Joe Alt, dropped to the Giants, but before then, Herbert was throwing the ball around, looking good. Quentin Johnson have been playing at a very high level. I think he's like top 10 in receiving yards or something. So he's having a good season. So we're gonna see, man. It's still early for a lot of teams. Not really surprised about too much else that's going on. I think some of the teams that we thought would be sorry have been sorry. NFC West gonna be competitive. That's looking tough. San Fran 3-1, Seattle 3-1, Rams 3-1, Arizona 2-2. So we're gonna see. Like I said, it's still early. It's gonna be a lot to see. I think that Dallas tie last the other night was big for them. Probably a little bit of a letdown if you're the Packers. They lost last week and then they tie with the Cowboys. So a little bit of a letdown for them, but outside of that, it's gonna be an interesting season, man. It's a lot of interesting pieces, and with these injuries, anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what I think is the NFC West looks like, because there seems to be a lot of carnage, with San Francisco losing all those players. Obviously, the Cardinals just lost to the Seattle Seahawks, and I mean, I think Seattle is probably the best team right now collectively in that division.
I don't know, bro. I might take the Rams right now, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is with the Rams, like, I love the Colts, but I saw a lot of glaring issues with the Rams on Sunday. Like, we let that game go, and I think a lot of it is because they are very reliant on that defense. Like, obviously Jared Verse and Brandon Fitz, they came to play later on in the game, but early on when they weren't producing as much, the offense was sputtering. And so I think just top to bottom, if Sam Darnold plays like he did in Minnesota, they could definitely give the Rams a run for their money. So we'll see, and hopefully, like, praying that Matthew Stafford's back holds up, throughout the whole season. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, with Devon Witherspoon, Tariq, and even the boy from South Carolina, man, that defense is tough with Seattle. And offensively, you got Kenneth Walker, you got Zach Charbonnet, and even JSN from on the outside. They got weapons too. So just looking at the roster, it's like they can definitely give a Rams run for their money. So that was one of the surprise things for me.
Yeah. Seattle's definitely been winning games, playing a little bit better than I expected as well. Jacksonville 3-1, AFC South, finding ways to win. Close games, but finding ways to win. They slipped up against the Bengals, lost that game at the last second. But other than that, we're gonna see if they're able to keep it up. They got a tough little stretch coming up with the Chiefs Monday night, and then turning around and playing the Seahawks and then the Rams. So we're gonna see what they're able to do in Jacksonville. But yeah. interesting season of NFL football going on, man. It's gonna be some good games coming up, and we're gonna see what happens. And these boys done disappeared.
My bad, brother. Start up Bible study for the church. Yeah, man, it's a very interesting NFL season for sure. I missed the kind of end of what our brothers was talking about there.
Yeah, we were just talking about surprise teams. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the Colts were a surprise team this year. I think that. Let me see. Let me take a look at this real quick. I said for me, I think the Colts are probably the biggest surprise team this year. Everybody else, like I'm not like overly. Nobody else like surprised me. I think Pittsburgh, they were not surprising, but like 3-1 right now. They look okay. No one else in the league I'm looking at right now is like overly doing anything like it, whatever to me.
But I mean, like even with the Colts though, I don't even think that's like a surprise. I think we're playing the way that I thought we were gonna play. I feel like the biggest surprise in our division is the Texans, honestly, because they look bad. And even versus the Titans, they got past that game, but I think them letting go of Laramie Tunsil and them like not having enough offensive weapons, like everybody just wrote them in to win our division. But honestly, I thought we were going to win our division too. But they might come in close to last, honestly, because the Jags are winning games.
But I say Jags are also surprising. I didn't think they would be 3-1 either. They were surprising to me. They've been playing a lot better than I thought they were. Like I said, everybody else, the NFC West has also been an entertaining division. They've probably been the best division in football to start the season. Just with the way that those teams have been playing, coming out, all four of those teams are above 500 or at 500. So, I think it's probably right now the best division in football. Would it stay that way to end the season? Don't know. But right now, I mean, they're doing better than I thought for a lot of their teams. It would be. I thought the Rams would kind of be top. I didn't expect San Fran to be where they were. Seattle, I knew they'd be good. I thought second in the division still, and then like I said, Arizona is 2-2 as well. So. Yeah, the NFL season definitely had some surprises. Like I said, with all the injuries and things it's caused, I think a lot happened. But I don't know if. Yeah, everybody else kind of do what I expect them to do, honestly. Everybody else do what I expect them to do. So, as we continue on in this season, I just want to have some joy. That's all. I'm hoping that my team, make some things shake and make some things happen. And I had a conversation earlier with some of my homeboys that were Ravens fans and my brother. And it's like, okay, we fired John Harbaugh. Then I feel like we go into, the coaching carousel that a lot of other teams are facing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a guarantee that you get a home run hitter as your new coach. I think your coach has to fit the culture, fit a lot of things. But, to be good, or you fall into the bandwagon of, what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to see what other coaches are, who's out on hot seats, who's available out here to, be brought in, all those kind of things. So there's a lot of factors when you just fire your coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why a lot of coaches, I guess the two top tenured coaches right now are between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And also, when you look at those franchises, they don't do a lot of change between those franchises. So I think that's another reason that both these coaches still have, are where they are. I mean, it's coming to a point where, and I can say this because I've watched it for the past decade. You do enough to win, and you keep your job. Like that's how it's been for both of these franchises, us in Pittsburgh, for the past decade plus, right? And neither one has won a Super Bowl in the past decade plus. So, it seems to be. It's not like, but you're also seeing these coaches who've had 4 or 5 coaches in the past 5 years, and it's like we want to fall into that territory too. You look at doggone Dallas. You look at Chicago, you look at all these New York, like all these teams firing the coaches. It's like they ain't made them no better. So like, do you fall into that same thing? So,
but I think y'all different, John, because I think even good coaches with good quarterbacks would leave easily to go coach Lamar. So I feel like y'all wouldn't be struggling to find a good coach. Y'all could even get some of the top coaches to come to Baltimore, in my opinion.
So as y'all know, this month's topic has been about the
Can't hear a word.
That brother wasn't locked in.
I'm sorry, brother. Say what you said again. I apologize. I was trying to. I'm Bible study has started. I apologize. Continue. I'm gonna finish up this.
As I was saying, I say y'all kind of in a different predicament because I think a lot of coaches, almost probably every coach in the league, would probably entertain the idea of going to Coach Lamar because
Mhm.
he's so great. And so I
Yeah.
think even good coaches with decent quarterbacks will leave their job to go coach Lamar, in my opinion. Like there's some decent coaches I think y'all could pull from their organization because the offense is solidified essentially. I mean, because you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about quarterback for the next 10, 12 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
agree with that, bro. I was just thinking, like, I was telling my brother, I was like, you got to have like the right kind of guy. Like, I could see a Dan Campbell coming to Baltimore. I could see D'Amico Ryans coming to Baltimore, but I can't see like Aaron Glenn coming to Baltimore. I don't think that would work out for him. I mean, like, you
hell
can beat
no.
it with good players, but you got to have you got to have that right culture fit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think a lot of coaches will want the job for sure because of Lamar, but like. You gotta have that right piece and that right kind of guy to like run the Ravens organization. So am I mad if John Harbaugh gets fired? No, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I welcome the idea. I'm not mad at it at all. But like I said, we gotta have the right piece come in. We can't just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go hire Joe Small off the street. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have like a notable name. I think that comes in is able to kind of work with this team because, of, like you mentioned, kind of just the pedigree which we are. So
Cool.
yeah, man. Here at the One Shot Podcast, we appreciate y'all always and forever continuing just to be not only listeners, but sharers of our message, sharers of our podcast. We appreciate y'all love, the support. We appreciate y'all continuing to tap in with us each and every week whenever we drop these episodes, and continuing just to keep us informed of what's going on out here in the sports world as we watch and as we listen and as we continue to grow in our narratives, and as the fellas continue to drop articles and we continue to drop these gems that we try to drop for y'all in the knowledge. We pray that y'all continue to share, like, comment, subscribe, all the things, so that we can continue to help us to be a better platform for y'all. We do this out of love for the game, but we also do it just because we know that y'all love it too. And so, but as long as we can continue that conversation, I think that's what we want to do. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We can't wait to see y'all at the next appointed time. Fellas, y'all have anything else to add to our benediction tonight? No.
Y'all stay blessed out here. Appreciate the support, man.
Hey, man, like I
Fact.
said, we'll be back. Me and Hunter got to talk about the WNBA Finals matchup that will be solidified as of tomorrow. So we'll be back with another episode on tomorrow. And then me and Collin and Hunter, we got to get back with him. We got to talk about college as well, because there's been a lot of stuff going on in college, too, that we need to discuss. Clemson has not been doing well. Football season has been well to me this year. My goodness. So we're going to get back
Fact.
on to talk about all that, too. But we're going to save for the next appointed time. We'll catch y'all. Peace.
Peace.